Okay, hi, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Today I'm thinking I will teach you how to make sounds in your Modplug Tracker. Now, this will work for any format of tracked thing, but what you'll want to do is you'll want to make an Open Modplug Tracker module to make the sounds in, and you can import these sounds into any of the formats that Modplug handles. So, yeah. So if I decided I wanted to make an S3M or a mod or an XM or an IT, I could make any of those things or an Open Modplug Tracker module. But I'll show you how to make in Modplug a bunch of different sounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to initialize the OPL instrument, right? And then we're going to make sure we've got a new instrument. Yes, let's convert that instrument that we've just made into an instrument. So that should make a very typical sound, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one down to halfway. I think this time right away we'll make a kick. See, it already sounds a bit like a kick, but the problem is it's being sustained, so and we need it to trail out, so we want a release rate. Okay, let's give that a bit of a release. Okay, so now we got no clicks. Okay, we want this to be a bit sharper. Okay, now we don't want that sustaining. We'll make that release a little longer. A little bit shorter than that. Okay. Right. So we've basically got a bit of a kick happening already. I'm playing it on C5 right now, I think. There we go. That's better. Alright, that sounds good. Alright. See, now I haven't changed it from sine and sine. Now you can do that, and you can get the general sound sounding different. It's best to keep the one as a sine if you're doing a kick, though. I'll keep both as sines. Now, the first one, which is the one that's sustaining for longer, it has to be a sine for a kick. Okay, so now we're going to play a lower C. See, that already sounds like a kick, right? So our decay rate is here, our sustain level is here, release rate is here, and we've got a little bit of a tail on the end there. Now we're going to go to the instrument tab, which will still have number 1 selected. Now, what we want to do is we want to grab the pitch. Click the pitch on, right? And we're going to double click. It gets us another one of these, but I'm just going to zoom in. Another one of these points, and then I'm going to do that. That makes the kick sound a little bit more punchy. And what I often do, okay, now what I often do is I'll take this out until the whole length, see how long it lasts. Okay, now I'm going to add one down there, one up there. So it's really pretty much gone by here, right? Just got to listen for these things, okay? Right. Okay. Now you can go a bit more extreme with this. Let's get a little bit more character to your kick. I'll make that tail a little longer. Okay, so now we've got a kick, right? All right. So what we're going to do is, now this is what you would do with any of these instruments that we're going to be making today. If you want to take them to another format, what you do is you then play it on a channel like that, then you export to a sample slot. Now our kick is going to be in a sample slot, right? Now normalize. Okay, I'm also going to zoom in and have a look at how everything looks in the front here. Looks good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take it from about here. See where it's about 50% of the volume. Okay, now I'm going to amplify, fade in from 50%. Okay, that way the kick is going to have a bit more oomph in the fatness when I normalize again. Okay, so now we've got a kick. All right. Might want to, now that it's a sample, we can add some filtering to it. Sounds a bit cleaner. I've got a stereo sample here, but this is, in order to save it, save on space, we can mix the channels, make it mono, because it's basically what was on the left was on the right. So now we got a kick. Now I can take this kick, copy it, let's go for a new RT file. Okay, sample, paste it. All right, so there we go. That's how you make the kick. And of course that kick can have any characteristics you want just by playing around with your settings here, messing around. You might want to mess around with your pitch up and down, that kind of thing. All right, so now let's go back to that sample and let's call it kick. Right. And of course, if you want to save this, to export it into something else, you can save it as a FLAC, as a wave, an S3I, or a raw file. All right. Next instrument. Let's get rid of all of this. Okay. New instrument. So we'll go here. New instrument. We'll go for a hi-hat now. So I've taken, it's on a sine and a sine, but I found the best way to make a good hi-hat is to make this a square, and we get some white noise. It'll do the same with the sine, but it's a bit more muffled white noise, as far as I mean, I'll make out. It's a bit more sharp with the square. Okay. So now the first one's a square, the second one's a sine. Now we're going to make this decay quickly. Because what happens is with these two oscillators, when it's not on additive synthesis, this first oscillator pretty much becomes the king, and the second oscillator is a slave to it. So the second oscillator will do its stuff, but when it comes to decay rate, sustain level, and release rate, all of that depends entirely on the first operator. So if the first operator decays, the second operator is going to decay as well. So Now, because we got this on sustain, now we've got a simple closed hi-hat. Okay. Now, give it a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, now that sounds like a snappy, semi-open hi-hat. Okay. But, now, one of the keys to these is that almost all of these will have a bit of tone to them. So I take it down from one modulation step. Now you see it's got a little bit of tone in it now. Now either I take it down or I bring it down here. That's better. Okay, I think I'll do that this time. And then we're going to get its pitch up because it's a hi-hat. Hi-hats are pretty trebly. It's too high. Still too high, I think. Okay, now we want to emphasize that tone a little bit more. So it hits and then it gets into the tone a bit before it ends. Okay, now we can play with that tone a little. Okay, we're going to add some vibrato tremolo. Okay, we might make this a little bit louder than this on this one. Okay. I might make this last a little longer as well. This slightly higher level. Okay, there we go. Just one hint of that tone in there. Okay. Now, as I did with the kick, you can make this into a sample by making a new pattern and just simply going ahead and exporting it to a sample slot, that kind of thing, right? Away, right? But we're just going to move on because you know how to do that now. Okay. So now we got our kick, we got our hi-hat. Okay. Okay, so now it's obvious what we're going to need next, and that is a snare. So let's make a snare. Yes, please. Thank you. Now, similar to a hi-hat, what we want to do, but we're going to just stick with the sine, okay? And we're going to go, this time definitely to that one. We're going to bring this down to here. You can hear it's already got some tone in it, okay? Now this will last a bit longer than a hi-hat. Okay, we want to go a little higher than this. Okay, we want a little bit more length than that. Yeah, nice and ringy. Now, with the snare, we're going to want to do the same thing we did with the kick, right? Add a bit of I'm also going to add a bit of filter on it so that we can have a bit more control. Oh, we can't. Yeah, we can't. We'll keep the pitch going, and we're actually going to make it. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, and also you might hear some sounds in the background. My mom is listening to stuff while she sleeps. We just want the hint of this white noise. A bit more length than that. Okay, so we'll use that. Alright, so we'll go with snare over here. You'll want to adjust these things as you go along so that you can get the kind of sound you're going for. Basically what we've got here now is kick, hi-hat, snare, all made directly in Modplug. So I've got these on E. All right. Add a little bit of character to the drumming. Okay, let's give that a try. Alright, let's give that a little bit of variation. So about go to 50 on the odd ones. So there and there. Okay, there. And there. All right. Yeah, and then of course, I mean, when we're making some house here, so obviously you would put a compressor on. We've got a compressor in Modplug. This is the DirectX audio effects, and put it as a master. Now I normally make a brick wall limiter by taking the attack all the way to the left, the release all the way to the left, bring the ratio up. and bringing the threshold up further. Okay, and then we can bring the gain up. Alright, so now let's get, this is when the rest becomes easy. So let's say you want, let's get some bass happening, right? So now I just keep initializing OPL instruments here. So I'm just gonna, I want some nice sine bass. I'm gonna get rid of this, most of the second modulator, but I'm gonna make it kick a little bit like a kick drum at first. Okay, maybe a little slower than that because this is a bass. Rightio. Okay. Now we want this to alright. Sounding a bit like a kick. Let's give it a little less. Okay. We'll actually turn this into a square. Good stuff. Okay, so now we got a bass. Alright, so let's just have some fun with some bass. Let's see what we get from that. All right. And voila, that's how you basically make music in Modplug using only Modplug. Thank you for joining me, YouTube, and I hope this video is exactly what you were looking for.